Could the biggest IPO in history come from an AI lab as soon as October? Welcome to the Automated Daily AI News Edition, the podcast created by Generative AI. It's August 15th, 2026, and I'm Trend Teller. Today, Apple reshapes its AI plan for China, Google pushes encrypted AI and managed agents, and the industry gets a fresh warning about what happens when lots of AI agents start working together. This episode is brought to you by Gamma. Gamma lets you effortlessly use AI to design for presentations, websites, and more. Find the link in the episode notes. Let's start with Apple. Reuters reports that Apple has trained a large language model specifically for China with support from Alibaba. That is a notable shift because Apple had earlier seemed more likely to depend mainly on local third-party models to bring Apple intelligence into the Chinese market. Now it appears to be taking a dual approach, combining its own model with approved local systems such as Alibaba's Qwen and possibly Baidu technology as well. The reason this matters is straightforward. China's rules require local compliance, and Apple also needs a stronger AI story there if it wants to compete more effectively with domestic phone makers, especially Huawei. On the business side, Anthropic investors are reportedly expecting an October public offering at a valuation of $2 trillion or more. If that happens, it would be the largest IPO ever. The case for that kind of price tag is based on extraordinary growth expectations, with backers projecting annualized revenue could hit well above $100 billion by the end of this year. That said, the risks are real. Regulation, fierce competition, and recent friction with the U.S. government are all still in play. A related analysis out this week adds another angle, arguing that financing may not be the near-term bottleneck for frontier AI after all. The point there is that vendor-backed debt and long-term infrastructure deals are making it easier for labs to fund giant compute and data center build-outs, which means the AI arms race may stay capital-intensive for quite a while. The speed race is moving just as fast as the funding race. OpenAI has announced an early preview of Ultrafast, a new API tier for GPT-5.6 Sol that is designed for much lower latency. The practical message is that OpenAI wants frontier models to feel usable in live settings like customer support, trading research, and incident response, where waiting on a model can break the workflow. Google, meanwhile, has launched Gemini 3.7 Flash only weeks after version 3.6. Google says the new model is better at coding, tool use, and recovering from errors in longer-running tasks. Put together, these launches show where competition is heading now. Not just smarter models, but models that are quick and steady enough to handle real production work. Google also made a couple of moves that point to a broader platform strategy. First, it added HEIR to its private computing toolkit. HEIR is an open-source compiler for homomorphic encryption, which means AI systems can process encrypted data without exposing the raw information underneath. If that becomes easier to deploy, it could make a difference in sectors like healthcare and finance, where privacy rules are often the main barrier to using AI at all. Second, Google appears to be building a dedicated Agents tab inside AI Studio, while also backing an open agent plugin standard for packaging agent skills and tools more portably. The bigger picture is that Google seems to be turning AI Studio from a simple prototyping space into something closer to a full agent management environment. There's also a growing body of evidence that multi-agent AI needs much better guardrails. Anthropic says coordinated swarms of agents can outperform independent agents in tasks like vulnerability hunting, which is promising. But the same research found that when agents share similar assumptions, they can fail in similar ways too, leading to duplicated effort, bad decisions, or system-wide noise. That concern lines up with a wider security debate now gaining traction. One line of thinking is that classic zero trust is necessary, but not enough, because an agent can still cause damage while technically staying within its permissions. Another argues that the real challenge is not how many sub-agents a system has, but how far an early mistake can spread through the workflow. And a new SANS survey reinforces the urgency here. Defenders are using AI more, but attackers are too, which means security teams now have to manage both the benefits and the blast radius of autonomous systems. And finally, a quick OpenAI update. Chief Revenue Officer Denise Dresser is leaving less than a year after joining, and former Wiz executive Dali Rajic is taking over the role. The change comes amid a broader leadership reshuffle, with Greg Brockman reportedly taking a more hands-on role as well. For customers, the main takeaway is that OpenAI is still reorganizing while it pushes deeper into enterprise sales. In a market where reliability, contracts, and long-term roadmaps matter almost as much as model quality, leadership stability is not a small detail. Thanks to our sponsor, Lindy. Lindy is your ultimate AI assistant that proactively manages your inbox, meetings, and calendar so you can focus on what actually matters. Find the link in the episode notes. That's it for today. The clear theme across these stories is that AI is moving further into regulated markets, private data, enterprise infrastructure, and higher stakes workflows. Thanks for listening, and links to all stories can be found in the episode notes.